Welcome children. Take out your history book. Chapter 5. The American Civil War. Today's topic, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President's ideology. In 1854, the northern state formed the Republican Party, a party whose main focus was to fight against slavery. Now, in 1854, the northern state, they formed the Republican Party. Now, what was the main aim of this party? Its aim was to fight against the slavery. Abraham Lincoln was part of the Republican Party and was elected the 16th President of the USA in 1861. Now, in 1861, Abraham Lincoln, he was selected as the 16th President of the USA and he was the part of the Republican Party. He was first proponent of anti-slavery. Now, who was he? He was the first proponent of anti-slavery. Now, what does this word proponent mean? Now, proponent means a person who speaks publicly in support of particular idea, plan of action. That means Abraham Lincoln, he publicly announced about in front of everyone, he announced the anti-slavery. When he took over the president, the southern state realized that this potentially meant end of the slave. Now, when he took, that means when Abraham Lincoln took over the president, the southern state, it came to realize that this was only the end of the slavery. The southern state seceded from the union and had become an independent confederacy. Now, since the southern state, they got separated from the union and they became an independent confederacy. Lincoln was determined to save the union at all cost and if necessary even at the cost of war. Now, Lincoln, he was very much determined that he would save the union at any cost and if there is any necessary at any cost of a war. He viewed the seceded states as rebels and declared a war against it. Now, he looked at the seceded states as the rebels and then declared a war against it. Civil War. The Civil War broke out on 12th April 1861 after years to unease between the North and the South. Now, Civil War, when it broke out on 12th of April 1861 after years of unease between this North and the South. The war broke out in the early hours of 12th April. Now, war, when it broke out? It broke out in the early hours of the 12th April. Within weeks, 4 more states, Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee and Northern Carolina left the Union to join the Confederacy. Now, war broke out. When the war broke out? It broke out early hours of 12th of April and within 4 weeks, what happened? 4 more states joined, that is Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee and Northern Carolina. They left this union and joined the Confederacy. It was a war between the members of the same country which split the country wide open. Now, what was it? It was a war and this war was held between the members of the same country and it splitted, that means it separated the country wide. Many battles were fought with neither of the sides being able to dominate the other completely. Now, many battles it was fought with neither of the sides which were able to dominate the other completely. The Civil War continued for 4 years, causing the loss of the millions of lives. Now, Civil War, what it happened? It continued for 4 years. It caused the loss of millions of lives. Over 600,000 people died and many more got wounded. Near about more than 600,000 people died and even more than got wounded. The northern state finally defeated the southern state as their army was better equipped with superior resources such as rifles, machine guns and arms ships. Now, over more than 600,000 people, they died and many more, they were injured. The northern state finally what happened? They were defeated in front of the southern state because their army, they were better equipped with superior sources such as rifles, machine guns and arms ship. Emancipation Proclamation. In 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation that abolished slavery in America. Now, 1863, what Lincoln did means the President of USA, Abraham Lincoln, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, what is this Emancipation Proclamation? This Emancipation Proclamation, it had abolished, that means according to this proclamation, slavery was totally abolished from America. Slavery was unacceptable as everyone was equal according to American Constitution. Now, slavery, it became unacceptable because according to American Constitution, everyone was equal. Thousands of slaves joined the Northern Army and strengthened it. Now, thousands of slaves, what they did? They joined the Northern Army and strengthened it. The war turned into a crusade for human rights. Now, what it turned into? It turned into a crusade for human rights. President Lincoln became the great emancipator for the slave people. And President Lincoln, what he became? He became the great emancipator for the slave people. Battle at Gettysburg. In July 1863, the northern state won the battle at Gettysburg. July 1863, what happened? The northern state, it won the battle at Gettysburg. Around 50,000 soldiers lost their life in 3 days. What happened? Near about 50,000 soldiers lost their life. The southern state army was defeated. Now, southern army, they got defeated. President Lincoln was deeply affected by the amount of blood. Now, President Lincoln, what happened? He was deeply affected with this amount of the blood that was shed in the battlefield. 4 months later, in November, President Lincoln was invited to deliver a lecture. Now, after 4 months, what happened in November? That was in November. President Lincoln, he was invited to deliver a lecture on the open day of the National Cemetery that was held at Gettysburg. The lecture became famous and is known as Gettysburg Address. Now, lecture, what it became? It became very famous and it is only known as Gettysburg Address. It was a short lecture and had a powerful impact on the world. What was it? Very short lecture and a very powerful impact on the people. In his speech, President Lincoln spoke about war as a necessity for the survival of man. Now, what happened in his speech? President Lincoln, what he did? He spoke about the war because it was very necessary for the survival of the nation. Now, take out your diary, write Chapter 5, the American Civil War. Topic: Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President's Ideology. 2 pages, 3 pages explain, homework, revise it. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.